Hello, this is the Library of Creations, where we simply share creations of the mind. This video will be covering a project called DAOstack. The plan is to cover this idea in a general sense and not get too technical. First question, as always, what is DAOstack? To start off, I'll show you how the project explains itself when you first open their website. For them to put this as the first thing you see, that means they think the information shared is what people should know. It says, building collaborative networks. DAOstack is an open source project advancing the technology and adoption of decentralized governance. Then, they have a button for launching a DAO and a button for viewing their documentation. For people that aren't into blockchain technology and don't know what a DAO is, they probably just had a ton of questions pop into their mind. So, what is a DAO? Well, it is a decentralized, autonomous organization. Okay, but what is it? Well, like DAOstack said here, it is a collaborative network. But, you could think of Facebook as a collaborative network too. However, a DAO and Facebook are vastly different due to decentralization. Facebook is completely governed by a central power. They take all of their users' data and they do whatever they want with it. The users don't have much say. But a DAO is governed by the users collectively, so there is no central power making all the decisions. Continuing down their site, DAOstack answers all the important questions. Why is DAOstack needed? To tackle today's biggest problems, we need to coordinate around our shared values more effectively than our current systems allow. Pretty much, this is saying that systems that are governed by a central power almost always lead to issues or corruption in the system. The tendency of humans is to get less for more. That sounds bad, but that same principle is what drives innovation. We want to satisfy human wants better, cheaper, faster. However, when a group is a central power, this human tendency, mixed with the power, allows them to take advantage of other people. So, DAOstack is saying that with governance being decentralized, there will be less of the human error aspect of collaboration. When no central power is taking advantage of people, we can coordinate around shared values easier and progress humanity forward faster. Okay, how? I won't read all of this because I went over it already, but I think this part is important. A DAO is a network of stakeholders with no central governing body, just a set of rules encoded on a blockchain. So the rules of governing are definite and do not allow for humans to corrupt the system. You can think of it like a vending machine. You provide enough money, then you can buy something. If not, the computer inside absolutely will not allow you to buy anything. This is just like DAOs. In centralized powers, like Facebook, the humans that can be corrupted make all the rules. With DAOs, the rules are set in stone in code. The goal would be to not have to ever change these rules. However, if they ever need to be modified, then the community can vote in order to decide how and what to change about the rules. Cool. So, what is DAOstack actually building? The DAOstack project is building a modular, open source software stack for DAOs that includes a library of governance protocols and friendly interfaces for creating and managing DAOs. What this means is that they are creating technology to make it super easy to create any DAO for anything, and all the code they are writing is open to the public, which is awesome. When they say software stack, this means all the different technologies they have created. So another perspective is that DAOstack isn't just one useful tool, it has a multitude of valuable use cases. To explain all their tech would take hours, so if you want more details, then check their docs. They also summarize their stack on the homepage. However, I would like to talk about DAOstack's use cases as a whole, so you can gain a more realistic understanding of how this project works. In the broadest sense, DAOstack is useful anytime there is a need to coordinate a large group of people to make decisions collectively. So, some solid use cases could be a film project of 1,000 artists, an open source software project of 10,000 developers, a climate initiative of 50,000 scientists, a collaborative news network of 100,000 journalists. In all these groups, they will need to make important decisions to achieve their goals. How much should James be paid for that article? Or Sally for that software upgrade? What will be the process for verifying and evaluating work? Should the organization invest in this or that office space? Is legal support needed? DAOstack helps in creating unique DAOs so all these groups can collectively make these decisions in a fair manner. A question that often appears in relation to crypto projects is whether there is a token or not. And DAOstack does indeed have an important utility token called GEN, G-E-N. This token is completely optional and not required by anyone, including if you're using DAOstack to create a DAO. However, using this token is highly recommended for DAOs. To understand why, you need to know a little bit about how the typical DAO process works. First, members submit proposals. Then, members vote on the proposals. If the majority of the members vote yes, then the proposal will pass. This works at small scales, but becomes skewed in larger organizations because members don't have enough time to evaluate every single proposal. If 51% of the huge organization is required to pass every proposal, then the team would be at risk of getting very little done. So, there's an issue here. Set the percent of members required to vote too high, and the DAO is paralyzed. Set it too low, and the DAO can easily be manipulated by minority coalitions. GEN was designed in order to solve this tricky issue. The GEN predictor network acts as a middle layer between proposal submission and proposal voting that filters proposals by predicted chance of passing. The best, most value-aligned proposals are boosted to the top of the list. This makes it so that the large DAOs can easily see which proposals are most important, since a separate system of humans is helping to point out where limited attention should go. So this GEN predictor network is a separate system from the DAOs, but both DAO members and non-members can stake GEN on the proposal, betting that it will pass or fail. The system works by allowing anyone to stake GEN on any proposal from any DAO. This stake basically is a signal from that person saying that they think that proposal is valuable and should be passed. If it does end up passing, then that person is rewarded with more GEN tokens. If they staked on a proposal that did not pass, then they lose GEN tokens. This incentivizes people to only stake on value-aligned proposals for each DAO. So if there was a cancer DAO and a proposal to send funding to a trustworthy cancer treatment company, then this is seemingly value-aligned and would benefit people to stake their GEN on it. Another important factor is that due to this incentive system, boosted proposals no longer need 51% of voting power to pass. Instead, they only need a relative majority, which I'm not sure how relative is defined. Maybe each DAO decides that on their own. Either way, I think this is an excellent solution for fairly passing proposals no matter the size of the DAO. The DAOstack team said here, ultimately, we foresee a large community of predictors with wide-ranging expertise advising DAOs through staking. We expect predictors will gravitate towards DAOs related to their particular skills and experience, and each will have a set of DAOs they track and stake for. So, the GEN token and predictor network solves two big issues. One, it boosts valuable proposals so that members know which ones to focus on out of hundreds or thousands of proposals. And two, it allows for a relative majority of members to vote. Exactly 51% of members are not needed every single time, because that would be about impossible in a DAO of 1 million people. Of course, if DAOs are still uncertain, the GEN network is completely optional and people can even build their own. Okay, so DAOs are these groups of people that pass proposals to get things done, but how does a member have any authority? Is it just one vote per person per proposal? This is an important question because this whole system is built on making sure that governance is resilient to bad acting or influence. One of the ways DAOstack achieves this resilience is by allowing monetary wealth to be separated from voting rights. If this weren't the case, then we would have plutocracy, in which the wealthy few have control over the less wealthy many. To create DAOs resilient to corruption, DAOstack's first governance templates implement voting rights using a system called reputation. Reputation is a score assigned to each user that represents that user's voting power. This reputation is distributed through the passing of proposals inside the DAO. Parts of it can even be automated, so that when anyone adds obvious value to the DAO, they gain reputation. These reputation templates are just templates, so each DAO can modify them to work exactly how they think they should. I think, over time, we'll see people create reputation systems that end up failing, and some that end up succeeding. Just like every free system in life, this process will go on to better help humans collaborate and achieve goals. To summarize, some people think that all companies and organizations will eventually become DAOs due to the obvious benefits for humanity. DAOstack is a project that has built an entire stack of technologies that allow anyone to easily create and manage DAOs. They implemented a modifiable reputation system for voting on proposals to collectively make decisions in a DAO. The reputation system is not tied to any tokens that require you to buy anything. However, DAOstack also has an optional utility token called Gen that solves issues with scaling a DAO and offers a huge network of knowledge that saves time for DAO members. Wow, there is a whole lot to this project. I found it very hard to generalize without going too in-depth, so I hope this video is able to make it clear what DAOstack is and how it will change the world. If you would like to learn about more creations of the mind, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.